Yeah.
So you're only single cheeked up, not double cheeked up. Got it.
Single cheeked up.
For real, I went from a 585 sumo pull at like 300 plus pounds, and that was hard for me.
Right.
To 6 months later, I pulled 644 at my meet.
Wow.
Nice.
Damn.
Just by doing like activation stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's awesome.
Because like Leah and I, we actually texted back and forth for a long time because she was having the same issue where she couldn't get things activated. So I was sending her all of my protocol stuff that I was getting from my therapist, and she was like, "Dude, this is the shit." Yeah, it sucks ass, but it works.
Yeah, that maintenance shit, you got to do it.
Yeah.
I was initially taught sumo because my sumo stance is almost identical to my squat stance. And so I did not pull conventional ever. I never deadlifted prior to powerlifting.
Yeah.
And I did not pull conventional until I was already pulling over 600 sumo.
Well, look at your fucking lower body, dude, you soccer player.
Freaking lawn fairies.
Yeah, does conventional feel like shit?
Thick asshole.
The problem with conventional, like now that it's okay, as you saw when I'm like extra big, Stan, like getting around myself is almost impossible. I can't even do it with a belt.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of fucking leg too, because like it seems people with thicker legs have to grip the bar wider, and then you're bending over even further. You know what I mean? It's just like the position ends up looking insane, dude. Like some of those strongmen that deadlift with like the wide stance, wide grip conventional, I don't understand how they do that and lift so much weight. They're just so fucking strong, like because that leverage is definitely not good. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's so much upper back the wider your hands get out. But like I don't wear a belt when I pull conventional. Even if it's heavy, I don't wear a belt.
Can't do it.
I have to wear a belt all the time.
I actually, dude, I like it so much better because like I fill my belly up so fucking much and push it against my legs that it feels better than a belt.
Yeah.
Because like I keep my feet are about this close. And then I just put so much fucking air into my gut, and I just forced my fucking gut to go against my legs, and it's almost like a spring. I don't know, it works for me, but I still suck, so whatever.
It's power belly summer.
You take your breath at the top or the bottom, Dalton?
Thick boy summer. Thick boy summer.
I have to take it at the top, bro. I can't breathe when I'm bent over.
So
yeah, I usually take it always at the top.
You still can't wear a belt even taking it at the top?
No, I can't. I'm just saying I feel more braced with just my I train.
You just don't like it.
I train. No, I train abs like heavy as fuck. So like, my gut is like, I practice bracing a lot. So like that motherfucker's like a brick wall.
Yeah, I mean, there's people out there now that are kind of proving that like the belt for deadlifts, like you can get away without it if you're. I mean, kind of hard to argue. There's like 2 or 3 guys I can think of that pull over 900 beltless. You know.
Yeah.
Not the exception anymore.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's Dalton, but I mean,
it's definitely not. I think it's just preference because I think if you either prefer to push against something or if you prefer to get tighter. I like to get tighter and fill with air.
Yeah.
I don't know how to push against something. I haven't practiced enough. Like squatting, I don't brace very well because I still don't know how to push against the belt super hard. But like deadlifting, I love going beltless because I can brace my stomach without a belt so much better.
You know,
I much prefer a belt to push against for sure.
Yeah.
I think I do too. I've deadlifted without a belt, and it definitely doesn't feel that much different. But obviously,
it doesn't feel good for me.
Obviously, for like squatting, it's like you have to fucking
Well,
wear
yeah. Because I'm not trying to blow my fucking asshole out.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. It's amazing how much lighter the weight feels on squats with a belt or without. Like even like a couple, even a couple plates. Like if I'm doing like 315 for reps, like just as like a accessory, like raw squats or something.
Yeah,
I'll do them sometimes without a belt, and like I'm like, man, this kind of feels like shit. But then when you're wearing a belt, like 3 plates it feels like fucking air. You know what I mean? Crazy.
What do y'all prefer when you squat? Do you like your belt You like your belt super fucking tight or like?
Yep.
Really?
Hmm.
My belts.
I would say
mine's-
moderately tight.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Mine's moderately tight for raw. Equipped, it's not really that tight because I wear my gear really fucking tight. And the belt, you don't really feel the belt on, but I put it on. But my suit's so tight that if I wasn't wearing the belt, it would feel the same.
Yeah,
I feel like you can only get your belt so tight on top of the Ultra Pro or a
When you're wearing
Leviathan.
a suit, it's hard.
Like it's only gonna get so tight because the suit's just like stiff on top. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like to pull the midsection on my suit super tight too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I'm Grace.
I guess I'll figure that out at some point once I throw a suit on.
I've seen Grace in that suit. Her fucking legs are purple for how tight her hips and fucking legs are.
Yeah, I actually like the hips pretty tight, and then I leave the legs honestly very loose, like the bottom of the suit.
Yeah.
I just pull the slack out on those, and kind of up top, I just kind of pull the slack out on those. The way I view the suit is it's just a giant brief.
Well, how do you set your straps? Probably tight because
not really tight.
Really? Because
the first few warm ups are just lay them over, and then the higher I get, it's like, okay, we'll just tighten them a little bit, because if it's too tight, I won't be able to sit back into the suit.
Yeah,
so
you just get pitched forward.
Yeah, and so I just really try to find I just found the right balance. And when I first started lifting in a suit, I would crank those straps, and it did not work for me. So I just found that cranking the hips and then just a moderately snug suit strap, just kind of a little bit more than laying it over, works well for me.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
What do you, top to bottom? How tight is everything? Like the straps are what, like a 5?
Yeah, the straps are probably a 5. The corset part is probably a 6 or so, and then the hips are probably about an 8, and then honestly the legs are like a 4.
What about you, Dalton?
I don't like the legs.
Dude, my straps are so loose that they don't even sit on my shoulders, actually.
They can kind of slide off if you move around a little.
Oh no, I could push them the fuck off easy.
Yeah.
And then midsection's probably an 8. Hips are probably literally a 10. I get those fuckers as tight as I could possibly get them, and then legs are a -5.
That's interesting.
Yes.
I fucking hate tight legs on a suit.
Same.
I
feel
do.
you can't open up is hard.
Yeah, dude. I have a classic OG, and the legs on it. I mean, I can fit my hand between my briefs and the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
those
it feels so
adjustments
much better.
you're talking about the Ultra Pro though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But briefs, I don't wear super tight briefs.
Me neither.
I like my briefs very tight.
You wear tight briefs.
I've
so.
seen your briefs, dude. They're fucking
briefs.
Yeah. Grace's briefs are fucking intense. I get, dude, at least for me, because
how do you know? You've never seen them.
I've seen you fucking wear them. Your legs look purple. in all your videos, Grace has a reverse tan.
It's true.
I wear medium, not tight, triple ply briefs right now that I got from you, Dalton.
Yeah.
And then I wear probably a 5 on the straps, so pretty fucking loose. I could fit my fist in under them. And then I go 10 on the torso, 10 on the hips, and then an 8 on the legs. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Where that bad boy cranks.
Yeah. I'm skinny.
Fuck
I need the fucking support.
TBD on how I wear it, so we'll see.
Have you gotten into full gear yet, Bang?
No, I haven't even put wraps on, man. I've had wraps on 3 times my whole life.
Oh shit!
Really?
So just briefs, briefs and a bench shirt so far.
Just briefs, and the briefs now are mine. Rudy made me those. Those are loose. when I tell people I can get my overkills on in under 2 minutes, they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's how mine are too, though.
Pretty quick.
Mine go on in probably about.
But his stuff's so notorious for being so ultra tight and custom that when he made them, he's like, oh, it's too loose. I'm like, no, Rudy, it's fucking perfect. I've been doing this for a month. Like,
yeah,
fine.
Oh yeah.
What when do you squat next, Bang?
I just squatted this morning. I did 735 for a double with the Buffalo bar.
Nice.
That's good.
To a box or no?
No, just till Sean told me to come up.
Yes, just briefs, bare knee. That's good.
Yeah,
what are those overkill briefs? Are they double fly?
They're double, yeah. Yeah, they're double, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good, man. You're getting strong.
Yeah. And then I've got I borrowed Steve Brock's bench shirt, so it's like a 60 with 58 arms. And
do you have video of those squats? You'll have to send that to me.
No, nobody videoed today. We were just like training just to train. Like nobody had phones out, nothing.
I feel you. I've been like that lately too.
So the thing we've been kicking around is we're not actually going to post like any of my training between now and December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, I'm all about that. Like, I'm not talking shit. I like to like sit there and think like, oh, I'm not gonna post shit. Like it matters. Like people care about what I'm doing. Because it makes me feel like, oh, when I fucking this is gonna be so much cooler. But it is, dude. It's sick.
Well, when I tell people that my goal is not to spot the WPO next year, I want to fucking compete in it. That is a big deal. And so like,
yeah.
They're gonna make you spot in between your lifts,
right?
Nah, sorry, Wayne. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Like, hey, it's getting boring out there without this dude doing this the whole fucking time. We need you out there.
They just need to,
I've been passing it on to people. It's just, you know, it does take we'll say a different personality.
The spot?
Dude, I've never met
or to be the hype man.
I've never
the hype guy, but then also to be able to spot while doing it. Like to be able to meld it all together like it is. And I'll tell you though, the way I learned all that shit was with the Wolfpack. Yeah. Like that wasn't just stuff I came up with. Like almost all like the stuff I say, how we do, like almost all of that is shit that I've learned from Sean, Steve Brock, Brendan before he passed away. Like a lot of like really great. John Ponzetti's another one. Probably honestly the best like guy to get you fired up. Two guys, Steve Brock and Bill Lee. Most people don't even know who Bill is. But the two of them, like they can just say shit and like the hair on your arm stands up before you're about to squat. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Sean, that's my dude, man. That's my guy. I talk to him all the time. That's my fucking homie. Yeah.
He's great people, man. He's come to our house, like he knows my family, like he's a good dude.
Yeah. He is
quite the reputation online.
Yeah. Dude, reputation online and in person. That motherfucker will throw him.
Yeah. He's definitely a definition of fuck around and find out.
Yeah, ask Wes McCormick if he likes him.
Oh my
gosh! Like Sean don't fuck around, man. He's hood.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
So Wes McCormick has been at our gym a couple of times now in the last 6 months now, and
why?
Bro, I don't fucking know.
Trying to read
and every time he's there, I'm like, oh, I wish Sean Copeland was here right now.
I will say this, like
allegedly.
They settled that better than I think anything ever in any powerlifting beef I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
the auction off that belt, like that was so fucking cool.
That was literally the best fucking thing ever.
Oh, dude, it was amazing. Like, seeing like people taking sides and like all the different posts that would come up. Like, oh gosh, like I legitimately could not wait to open up my social media to watch that. Yeah. Like I just wanted to know what's new today, what's happening.
Yeah, that is literally Sean in a fucking definition nutshell right there.
Yeah,
he's how he got the belt and then what he did with it. That is literally him.
Yep, not wrong.
Yeah,
not wrong.
He's the fucking I met him at the Pro-Am where Crystal, I think she squatted 800.
Is that what she squatted? Oh yeah. Was that her second multiply meet? Or like second multiply meet? Yeah.
Yes. This was like 3 or 4 years ago, probably 3 years ago.
3. Yep.
I think it was 3.
And yeah,
because she went from 705 Raw to like 803 or whatever it was, like
Yes.
less than a year later, and she was in Multiply, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, and I remember meeting Sean because he was handling my friend Kate, and he was just there, and he was like, "Can everyone just move the fuck out of the way?" and then he
Yep.
and then he was like, "Sorry, but fuck." I don't even know if he remembers doing that, but it was fucking funny because he was handling Crystal.
What I love about Sean, because I get Sean in like a lot of like, I don't want to say like intimate moments necessarily, because I don't have a better word for it, but like when you just sit and just like talk with him one-on-one, and like the dude is smart as fuck. He really, really is.
Yeah.
And if you're one of his people, oh my god, man, like that, he cares, like, and he will go to the ends of the earth for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is this, Sean?
And so Sean Coplin, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny
he'll,
about
he'll
him?
never admit that. He'll vehemently deny it, but
I've never met that guy.
Him and I have literally.
Go ahead, Dalton.
We've probably hung out twice in person, but like, I know if I called him right now and I needed help, he'd help me.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, he is one of, if not the most genuine person I've met in powerlifting. As far 100%. As like good and bad. Like he's just he ain't fake. He ain't
it's
fake
just all on the table. Like he's not hiding anything. It's just
you never have to wonder what you're gonna get with Sean. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he was before, like I know we were talking. Him and I were talking. He's had some health problems in the past. And dude, he was getting fucking strong. Like I think did he ever squat 1,000 in a meet? I think he did or almost did.
He did. Speaking of Barbell Central, yes, he did. And speaking of powerlifting drama too, if you remember this, like 5 years ago, there was a huge controversy over if Corey Maselli paid a meet sanctioning fee, and all the lifts got wiped out of that meet, and that was Sean's 1,003 pound squat.
I remember Sean.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah. That sucks.
So now, and I'm going to put his business out in the streets, but he'll be okay with this because he and Pat have already done it. So he and Pat Crawford have a bet. They're both training single ply right now on who can squat 1,000 pounds first. The other one has to get their name tattooed somewhere on their person. Jesus. I'm like, I cannot wait to see. And they're both looking very good. They were training today, and they both look strong as shit.
Bro, that guy Pat, he looks so much better now.
I mean, that's a low bar.
no, like, dude, he's jacked now.
He's big. Pat's always been pretty big, but the only pictures I've ever seen of him, it looked like he was still jacked, but like a little fluffier. And now it looks like he's leaned out and he's got a lot more muscle mass on him. Yeah. Yes, he does.
Yeah. Pat's a really good dude. I like Pat a lot.
Yeah,
Me and Pat didn't get along for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine you not getting along with anybody. That sounds strange.
You'd be surprised. Actually, quite a few people don't like me.
Really?
No, we just had very
different.
On. Like
wait, back up. You don't have to say who, but what would be what? Can you give us like a reason?
Stand there.
Sure.
I
give you.
Fight some people for you. Like what are we
No, like some are very legitimate. Like like the girl that I was dating when I knocked out my wife. There's a great reason she doesn't like me.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. That is what it is. But no, I will tell you, like, especially playing soccer, I was a horrible human being. I would intentionally hurt people, like, I was an angry person myself, and I just took it out on people.
How old were you?
Between the ages of, well, when I really was doing that, 17 and 28.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's. Well, I mean, 28 is kind of getting up there, but I mean, when you're younger like that, I feel like those are a lot of life lessons that are learned.
Right, we're talking like career-ending. Like I tore some dude's ankle apart to the point that he can still barely walk. 25 years later.
Yeah,
I was not a good person.
Yeah.
You learn something every day.
About it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's get to these.
Don't worry, bro.
Let's get to the questions, because, by the way, I am panicking slightly. I noticed like 20 minutes in or so to the podcast, I'm not 100% sure whether or not my mic was picking up. So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do when I upload this. Like, should I upload it and just leave it and no one's going to be able to hear what I'm saying, but they'll still hear you guys?
Listen,
do you think that will annoy people too much to leave it in,
podcast.
or you think I should cut it right to where it started working?
Nobody's going to listen to this podcast for you anyway, Stan. They're here for us.
Yeah. I think I'll just
Who
leave
wants to
it.
hear Grace?
I think I'll just leave it and post like, sorry, my mic wasn't working for like 20 minutes. I don't think I talked too much
Yeah.
at the beginning. So
If we had,
You were facilitating. You're good.
yeah, if we had 3 million subscribers, I'd worry about it.
well,
I
yeah.
wouldn't panic about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you cut out or leave it, it's fine either way.
Yeah.
Before we go to questions, you guys want to meet my dog?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Yes. Ginger.
What are you gonna pick
Let
him
me
up?
see your face.
No,
Oh,
Let
you're
me
on
see
your
your-
phone.
Let me
Say
see your
hello.
face.
Say hello.
Look at
Wow.
Oh, she's done. She's going for a walk.
Who's a
Very soon.
good girl?
So check this out, Stan. I had a picture. I was scrolling through stories, and a picture of Xena came up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all my kids thought it was Ginger. Like,
Yeah.
"Ah, they look a
Yeah.
lot alike.
Your dog's definitely
Yeah.
a lot bigger than my dog. That's the only difference.
Yours is more jacked. Mine is a much bigger hot dog.
I
neck.
say Xena is
yeah.
Yeah.
ripped.
Yeah.
Xena's
Yeah.
got a ton of muscle, but she's very small. Like she's
dude.
I mean, she's not near
What's
me.
she weigh?
So she weighs 50 pounds, but she's only about a foot off the ground.
Wow.
Like,
She's
Yeah,
little bitty.
Ginger's a little taller, but yeah, she's like 55, 60 pounds. They're about the same
Xena's
size.
legs are like, it's like, but she
Yeah,
has like
yeah.
huge hamstrings hanging off. That's pretty insane.
It's so funny. The last time I went there, they picked me up at the airport with Xena in the car, and like she wanted nothing to do with me, and I was like hugging on her and like, "Ah!"
Oh,
Just
Dalton,
love me.
Dalton was real assertive
she
with her, which
fucking
is
loves
good.
me.
I feel like you kind of
Yeah.
have to be like that with pit bulls anyway. But she's not used to that
Yeah.
because most people are more like I don't know how this dog's gonna be. You know what I
A little
mean?
nervous, a
'cause
little
I mean-
afraid.
Yeah.
I have 2 pits, so like it's nothing. It's normal for me.
Yeah.
So.
Hmm.
She's got no fucking teeth anyway, Dalton. So even if she
Nope.
was
Yes.
aggressive, you'd be fine. All right. This first question's kind of a joke question, I assume, but you might be able to answer this, Dalton. Best trend story. Do you have a trend story?
A what?
A trend story.
Yeah.
Oh.
As I have not been on it, no, I do not.
I thought you said a trans story.
No. Oh my God. Jesus.
I
was
mean,
like,
I have one of those.
I got it.
Really?
Come on, you don't know what I'm into, bro. You don't know what I'm into. Dude. Okay, so I have a lot of these. It's a trend, right?
Yeah. I guess any roid rage would suffice. I don't-
You can sprinkle in a trans story too. That's fine.
I don't think I have any. The only thing that I will say is I definitely get a lot more irritable in the car specifically. Like,
Yeah.
shit will piss me off so much, like people cutting me off or like people like riding my ass on the highway or something. Like, I get like triggered, like, I hope this motherfucker follows me home. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like unnecessarily annoyed. But other than that, I don't really like usually get more irritable or anything like that.
I feel like that
Yeah.
question was probably directed more towards Skiba.
Probably. Yeah, I
Everybody
know.
knows me. They know it's not me. So
Yeah. Dude, I've only fucked with Trent like literally twice because of the fact of like I'm already like pretty aggressive and pretty irritable all the time. And
Yeah, I'd say so.
dude, it just made me a fucking piece of shit.
Really?
Like headbutting fucking walls, ripping off doors, like trying to fight fucking dudes on the highway, fucking throwing food at people at their cars on the highway. Like it's not. I have
Yikes.
endless stories with that, dude. Like,
do you think how much of that do you think is like you're actually like your brain is like being affected, and how much of it do you think is like kind of placebo, like kind of being like, oh
no,
like,
because I thought
you know what I mean
thought
though?
that too. No, yeah. I thought that too, but like I think it was just because of the amount. So like, dude, I've never been until this last year. My dosages were never smart,
Sure.
to say the least.
Yeah, sure.
And well, yeah, because dude, look at where I was. Like, more is better, right?
I feel you. Yeah.
More is more.
Yeah, and so like when I was on Trin, it was like a gram, like
Jesus Christ.
like not smart, right? So like I know it was not, for me it wasn't placebo, because like I would catch myself and try to stop, like just like, dude, you're fucking annoying how mad you are right now.
Bro, you know what? Good for you for still having your hair and not having gyno.
Like, dude, it's running, bro. It's running.
Is that receded or like like?
Yeah, look. No, this is receding, bro. It was here.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like,
so I've had the same hairline since I was a kid, but mine's receded, but it's been like that since I was literally like. That's just my hairline. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, like
mine started receding when I was like 19.
Same. I was 18.
Grace's hairline like comes into like here.
Yeah. Yeah. She almost has like Dan Bell hair where it just like covers.
It's like perfectly. It's perfectly like. Yeah. That's funny.
Because it's all gone from here to here now, and then in the body hair. Dude. So I have all that.
Bane, how much back hair do you have? Because mine
0.
is a fucking blanket.
None.
Dude.
You guys ever notice that men in powerlifting, especially multiply, all kind of look alike?
Yep.
Like just like bald and beards.
Yep.
Yeah. Devastatingly handsome. Yes.
Yeah. Bald, beard, tattoos.
Don't have a single one.
You don't have any tattoos?
Not a single one.
You're definitely probably an outlier on the tattoos. I'm trying to think of every multiply dude I know. And they like all have tattoos.
I don't think Hop has a tattoo. Speaking of random.
Yeah, who knows?
I thought he had one on his arm.
No, none showing. None showing. But some people have like some shit like fucking on their upper back that you would never see. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people.
I can't remember the.
We all just froze. There's a lot of people out there in the world that like got their first tattoo and then were like, whoa, that sucked, and then just never got more. You know what I mean?
Every fucking time I go there, and I'm getting tattooed monthly right now, I am like, why the fuck am I doing
That's
that?
me every time too. Dude. I'm like, I think I'm good for a long time, and then like a couple weeks later, you're like, all right, you know what? That wasn't that bad. Yeah,
dude, I just got the outline on my whole entire back.
I saw that. That looked really good.
Holy
dude, doesn't
shit.
it fucking suck?
Bro, like, you know how when you get the tattoo and it's like, oh, okay, this spot, like, finally I'm taking a breather, like, this is good. The whole fucking
thing.
Really?
And dude, but they kept telling me, because my homie that tattooed me, he was like, all right, you ready to get fucking drilled on, buddy? And I'm sitting there like, I'll say this about every tattoo, but like, I feel like you're serious right now.
You know what's funny about that is like,
Gus was covered from his neck pretty much all the way down.
Yeah.
And he didn't have he had his back done, but it wasn't finished. And he was literally so deterred by it. He was like, I don't know if I'll ever even get it finished. Yeah. Because it hurts so bad.
Isn't that crazy? Because like, and I don't have anything on my back yet, but I've heard from everybody that it's a really tough spot. But it's
really awful.
You would think, not hearing that, you would think it would be an easy spot. Wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Think so.
I thought it would. I avoided
because there's thickness, the skin is firm. Like,
yeah,
you would think that.
Yeah, I got my back done before my chest and stomach because I thought it would be easier.
Yeah, I heard that.
I have my
I'm getting my stomach done this summer. How is the stomach?
Great.
It's pretty good. Do you want to see mine?
Sure.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Gorilla.
That's sick. Yeah, 3 gorilla heads.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like the stomach is not that bad. I mean, it sucks, but it's not terrible.
They all suck, but you mean it's not compared to the back.
And I'm working on my full back now, so it starts from the shoulder and it goes down to the top of the knee.
Holy fuck.
fucking
that was
shit.
That's gonna take so long, dude. Good luck.
Is it a Japanese traditional
It's a
piece?
traditional Japanese, yeah.
Are you
Good choice.
so are you getting the butt cheeks and everything?
The butt cheeks are butt, thighs.
That's sick.
Yep.
That's tough, man. Dude, those fucking full back pieces are so tough. Like the Japanese style. Those are so clean.
Yeah.
That
Dude,
first
you're-
session really fucked me up, man.
Dude,
Yeah,
the
you're
thing
like,
with Japanese
why?
too is like so much black is gonna get put into that takes so long to saturate all that shit. Like that's brutal, man. Good for you. Holy fuck.
Not only that, but like if you look at Japanese traditional, dude, their fine detail as far as like get up close and personal and look
Yeah.
at it, there's so much line work. So much line work.
There's so much line work that was done, and then basically once all the coloring is done, like you have to basically re-outline everything again.
Yep.
So that'll be really fun.
None of this is exciting me about possibly getting the tattoo level.
Hey, just get something on your shoulder, bro. You're good. It doesn't-
No,
That's easy.
Honestly, if you
So-
get your arms done, arms are really easy. Once I get this
Yeah.
back done, I'll do my entire right arm and
my wife and I have been talking about what we would want to do, and I think I have like she'll do whatever she wants because that's just what Nikki does. But I'm gonna get her initials and our anniversary on my rib, and then I'm gonna get our kids' initials and their birthdays on my chest, and that's it.
Oh, you're picking your rib, huh?
yeah, have fun with that.
Homie,
Honestly, if it's just some
pick
like,
another
some
place.
small script,
No,
it's it won't
the
be.
script will be
It's gonna be
So
about
fast, though?
so big. It's just script, yeah, and.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she and I have been together for almost 20 years now.
Dude,
Right?
that's-
Okay,
that's
I
a
don't
nice-
feel like this is a mail in and in type thing.
Yeah,
So like,
that's-
it's-
a nice way to dip your toe in for sure, because the script stuff like that, you feel what it feels like, but it's done with so fast. Like that'll be like a 20-minute tattoo, if that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
I'm just gonna go up
Tattoo the
to
script.
the world class
Yeah.
where Sean owns the place up there, and I'm just gonna go up there and get it done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says, how fast it is or how small it is. You pick your ribs, you're gonna feel every fucking second.
Oh
of it.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure I
but
will.
It's quick
Like
though.
I have no misconceptions, but it's
Yeah.
just like I
Stan-
could not think of what I wanted to be on me. Like I couldn't find something that just like, oh, this speaks to me, and I'm really cool with it, and. You know, like at first, like, oh, I'll get something with, regards to soccer. Well, I don't fucking play that anymore, so who cares?
That's a good spot if you're
Yeah.
not
Stan, you
tattooed
have
though,
your-
because it wouldn't look weird. Like
have
it
your-
wouldn't. What's up, Dom?
Yeah.
Like
You have
having
your
one.
arms and chest done, right?
Yeah, I have this one obviously. This was
Yeah.
actually one of my first tattoos. I got this in a fucking apartment. Like it was just, that's why it's like shitty.
It looks
And then-
like a fucking first tattoo.
It's bad, yeah. And then I have on my chest. I got this done in that same fucking apartment. This one actually came out okay. And then
No regrets.
and then I started this
Yes!
one, which is Japanese. I need to finish this, but
Ooh.
the artist I started with that with moved to Hawaii, so now I'm gonna get my new guy that I go to do it. But when I started going to him, I wanted to see if he was good, and he did American traditional, so that's when I started working on this. And then I got my leg recently too. But I'm getting my stomach this summer. I'm gonna get some axes with like blood and shit. And then I'm gonna finish this arm up. It's a lot of money
Nice,
though, man.
dude.
You know?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
See,
it
that's
really
the other
is.
thing is I'd rather spend money on like, and I know anyone will approve of this. I'd rather spend it on scotch or something like that. So
I
Oh
don't
man.
drink, so
Yeah.
I love my scotch. I do.
This is a never ending
I
battle.
really do.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
Yeah.
Actually, I have that
Yeah,
with a
I
couple
got-
clients.
Dude, I got 3 in like 2 days before, like, yeah, just on the same arm. I got this one, and then that was a cover up in in like, I think it was 2 separate days, but yeah, it's like $700-800.
Yeah, dude. Fucking brutal.
Yeah.
All right, let's I forgot we were answering questions. I gotta get you guys back on track.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
literally do this every fucking time. We answer like 2 questions.
We got into that because of your trend stories somehow. I don't know how that made its way.
I was just trying to tell some trans stories, okay?
Some trans.
Yeah, it's 2021. Trans. A lot of people.
Would love to hear about the crews around you transitioning from raw to equipped over time. With my crew, it kind of just happened naturally. Because I would get people that were like kind of, with the exception of a few people, a lot of the people I would get would be whoever I could. So a lot of people were kind of new to lifting, and they'd come in and see the strongest guys using equipment. So eventually they would just kind of be like, so where can I get that shit? Like, where should I buy that?
Yeah.
Because they thought that's just like what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't, we didn't really have to convince anybody, and it just kind of happened. But I don't think that that's like a usual case, or maybe it is. I don't know.
What about you, Bane? What was it like training raw and then transition? Like, how did it happen? What was the deciding factor? Things like that.
Sure. So for me, like, going into a gym that was very gear centric, right? I think was a huge push for me. I was always about training with teams. I was not a raw guy who wanted to be by themselves. Like, I just thought it was stupid. And so I saw like the crazy weights these guys were handling. I'm like, how do you do that? Because in some cases these guys are, the same weight I am. And then of course I find out there's maybe a little extra in their protein shake. Like, no, like, listen, man, this
drinking that water.
They're on the tuna, no problem. So they're explaining to me the gear. I'm like, well, this sounds cool. Like, why doesn't everybody do this? Like, well, honestly, no, not everybody can handle this. Like, the mental load it takes to learn this and to be patient enough. Like, most, especially young guys, don't have that right now. And it's like, that's like, so not only do you separate yourself as, from a strength perspective, but it's another way to even separate yourself within this niche community by being an equipped lifter, not because you're weird and like that, or it's wrong. It's just different. And it's just a very different type of strength. And I'm like, I want to be this like 360-degree form of strong. So this is also going to help me mentally. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. And so that was almost immediate when I got to that gym. And most of that crew, like the Coplans and that group, they were also very willing to help me. So I was like, well, if I'm going to be with you guys, like, it makes sense that I would also train like you.
Well, yeah. It's like, if they're going to let you in your crew, it's like, hey, man, we'll help you to no end, but you need to do your part. Like, if you're going to be in our crew, you need to do what we do.
Right. And they never pushed per se. It was always just a little like poke here and there. There's like, listen, man, you're strong as fuck, raw with naked knee, not taking anything, like, do what you can with that. But then when it's time, like, and it was as I got to like the south side of my 30s, that's where like, it's probably time to start transitioning. Because my body, I mean, it's already got a lot of miles on it anyway. Like, but I'd like to be able to run with my grandkids someday. So it's like, this still probably help a little bit towards that. But that was what it was for me.
I'm sure you, did you train at all in soccer? I don't know how soccer athletes train. So like, do they weight train at all?
It was, now they do, yes. Really, like, as I was coming up in the late 90s, early 2000s, from high school to college, it really wasn't a big thing. Like, you wanted to stay lean. And so when I graduated high school, I was like a $145. And
holy shit.
I was just a little guy. But then when I graduated college, I was 225.
Okay. So
I caught the bug because I got hurt my freshman year, and the doc's like, listen, if you had some meat on your bones, you would have had a stinger. You wouldn't, you wouldn't have separated your shoulder. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, cool. So anything worth doing is doing to the extreme. So I put on like 80 pounds in 9 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was like my 40 time only increased by about 1/10 of a second. Still had most of my stamina, but now I was just an absolute monster.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'8", so I had this low center of gravity. So I was like, have fun getting the ball.
That sounds exactly like Stan's story.
Have fun getting the ball, and then you go and fucking give people career-ending injuries. Jesus. It's good use of that extra 80 pounds.
Dude,
he goes and gains 80 pounds, and now he's the fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin of soccer.
Dude, I was just an absolute fucking wrecking ball. And the joke was, it was the Bane train. It's like, you don't want to get
hit by Bane train. I love that.
You do not want to get hit by it.
I love it.
I was skinny too, like that Bane, where I was 145 pounds. Actually, we might be around the same height.
Yeah, you're like 5'9", 5'10" at the most, right?
Yeah.
About.
Yeah. So I was 145 pounds, but also I was like a kid before I started lifting. Like I was that same height, but you know how like you develop like more stuff than just muscle develops, even if you're not getting taller still. You know what I mean? So some of it obviously isn't from lifting, but The first year I started lifting, I only gained like 20 pounds. I got up to like 165. And then it was like a very slow, only over the last 10 years have I gotten to well over 200 pounds. But
it was like, I think it was that perfect confluence of being 18, unlimited food plan. I really have nothing else to do but go to school, play soccer, and train and sleep. So like that was just my whole focus was, you know, going to school and focusing on
that.
Well, it's like I you know, I finished 2 degrees in 3.5 years. Plus, I started them when I was in high school because I had the option to go to a community college that was across the street from my high school. And I'm like, this stuff is easy. I can literally go in my sleep. I'm either hungover or half asleep in every class anyway, so who cares? And by the time I sober up, then I'm down in the gym.
Yo, Bane is flexing on me right now.
Damn.
Grace, have you always been
and done.
Have you always been like the size that you are? Well, obviously you're more muscular, but were you like super skinny?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one here that's been a fat fuck his whole life.
Well, so I was afraid of being fat because my dad, he and I are the same height, and like on my wedding day, he was almost 400 pounds. So I saw that growing up, and that terrified me. That's why I got so into sports. I'm like, I love my father. I do not want to, like, I don't want your laugh. I do not want that.
Yeah.
I
was actually fat.
I don't want your laugh.
I had eating disorders all through high school and college.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Never would have guessed that.
I was in cheerleading and competitive show choir.
Nice.
And back then it was like all the girls were always talking about their size and like what size they wore and stuff like that. So it was very like hyper focused on.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Yeah, my wife, same thing. Same thing. It was not good.
No. And then in college that carried over because I was so stressed out in college all the time because I was working and going to school full time, providing for like because I paid rent and stuff. And so the way I could control anything around me was just my food intake. And then I would go on run like 3 or 5 miles every day. And I would like, it was very unhealthy. I remember seeing a photo of myself. I'll like send it to you guys later. Of me in college, like my legs are like little like pins.
Skinny.
Yeah. And like they don't even like touch or anything, you know. And it was funny. I was actually at the store the other day and I was in a hardware store and one of the guys asked me and I was like, they asked, I was like, are you a soccer player?
Hey.
Do I look athletic?
No, nobody cares about soccer.
Yeah, I was actually. Go ahead, Grace. You all done?
Oh yeah. So I mean, 50 pounds later, here I am.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I was actually a little bit overweight when I was young. Before I, kind of like a year before I started lifting was when I got like real skinny like that. But I was like chubby to the point of like shopping in the husky section when you're a kid. Like there's like the kid section and the husky section, and then I remember I always like would wear like a t-shirt at the beach because I had like a little bit of fucking like man boobs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, I'm like a kid at this point, you know what I mean? Like I was probably like preteens. So that's like just an awkward stage anyway where you like feel super self-conscious. But yeah, I was like super fucking unhappy with it, and my mom had just gotten through cancer, and so she was like starting to eat really healthy. So we all started eating really healthy, and then I walked to school every day. So between the two of those things, I got really skinny all of a sudden, because then all of a sudden I was like paying attention to like nutrition labels and what I was eating and shit. And then that's when I got down to, I have no idea what I weighed when I was fat because I wasn't weighing myself. But when I started caring about what I weighed, I know I got as low as 145. So I'm like, fuck, man, that's skinny. Like, that's fucking wicked skinny. I feel like I look at people who weigh 145 pounds now, like when you look at like the UFC fighters and stuff that like weigh that, and you're like, dude, those people are like skeletons. Like, what the fuck?
Yes.
But then if you think about this stance, so like my legs were proportionally similar in size to where they are now when I was 145. So imagine how tiny I was up top.
Oh,
because I still had these big ass calves and these huge quads. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
Are you
was
serious?
like it's funny. Oh yeah. I'll repost it. I posted like 3-4 years ago on Instagram my freshman soccer
Yeah.
picture. And like my quads and the teardrop is so big it looks like I have 2 kneecaps.
Holy
Bro,
shit.
to piggyback off what Grace was saying about girls and like talking about their size, one of my best friends today actually put it. I never thought about it this way until he said this. He said, guys, no matter what they look like, will look in a mirror and think they look better than they look. Girls will look in a mirror and literally pick apart how their elbows look.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's honestly, like, I am a huge advocate of what um society's beauty standards are considered. I think that really you're in that you're ingrained with that when you're really young
Yeah.
because you see as a girl like what things look like on magazine covers, your Barbie dolls, and like all that stuff. Like, and I think that's why it's so important now to be more inclusive when it comes to body sizes and stuff, because then you end up having so many young girls putting themselves through these really dangerous eating disorders. I remember one time during the summer, I was so upset because the scale said like 110 and I wasn't under that. And I was starving myself and I went running in like the heat of the midday and like I almost passed out. Like it was just,
Holy shit.
like nobody should be doing that to themselves. And it takes a lot to learn to, like, I've come so far to just learn and to love and appreciate my body, even though it's not what is considered to be aesthetically beautiful according to society standards. But it's just like,
first of all, wrong, very wrong, very terrible. I totally disagree. But I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying, like, I know that it may not be like the type that's on a magazine or whatever.
Yeah.
That's okay because I know my body is very powerful and it's capable of doing a lot of things that, like, why not take care of it? And, you know, why should I obsess over food when, hey, if I want that fucking piece of pizza, like, I'm going to eat it type of thing.
Well, let me ask you this, Grace, because I have a little girl. She's 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's getting to the age where I shouldn't say getting to the age, but it's going to happen where it becomes a thing of fuck you, babe. She's a baby.
Dude, I have 2. I have 2 of them. I get it.
I know you do.
I mean, when
I deal with this shit every day.
Yeah, when this started, I was like 12, 13 years old. That's when I got into cheerleading.
Ella's 11. Lily is 15. And I'll say is this, is Grace, you hit it on the head. And Dalton, I could never, especially as a dad, emphasize this enough. That girl-dad relationship is incredibly important because you are the first man she falls in love with, if that's what she's into.
Yeah.
But even if it's not, you are the standard that she is going to set for every person she's ever with, whether it's a friend, a partner, whatever. There is something adversarial about a mother and daughter just because they're fighting for attention of the family. But there is something incredibly special about a father and daughter. That's why you hear about daddy issues, right?
Yeah.
The girl dad thing is
something
incredibly
interesting
important.
with that is that my dad was out of the picture when I was 9 years old.
See, that's what I was going to ask you.
Think about that.
Like, for your experiences as a father, what can I do to help her not feel like shit about her body, but still like emphasize being healthy? You know what I mean? Like, because I don't agree. I don't agree with the body confidence thing of like Lizzo. That's not healthy. You should not be okay with being that large. Like, I understand, don't be a piece of shit and call her fat and all this bullshit, but like, you should not be okay with being diabetic and high blood pressure. Like, you're literally killing yourself.
To say when it comes to like health issues like that, yeah, but I mean, I will say that I follow Lizzo and like she works out hard. Like she gets it. Like she can.
Well,
I'm just
using her as an example,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? Because like whether she works out hard or not, like carrying. I mean, I'm a big dude. Carrying that much mass around is doing long-term damage to your organs.
Yeah, and to your joints and stuff. And so, I mean, I would just emphasize like, you know, make sure we get exercise and eat healthy foods. Always have like those healthy food options and maybe not have those bad food options around. Cause then if you even say something like, why are you going to eat that? Like those things kind of like trigger. I don't know, but like I wasn't raised in that type of home, so
Yeah.
Bane actually might be better answering this because I didn't experience it, so I don't know what's
Yeah.
appropriate and what's not
Because
appropriate.
I have a thought
she's a
on
high
this.
level competitive gymnast. What's
I,
up, Stan?
I have a thought on this, even though obviously I'm not a fucking parent. But just based off like she's talking society norms earlier, and obviously there's like this emphasis for women placed on like how you look and all that, and like it's positive if you look good, you know what I mean? Whereas like for men, it's more like what you're able to do is where the emphasis is, you know what I mean? So I feel like if the emphasis was more placed on, like Grace was saying, she's like proud of what her body can do, that also leads to like health as well as confidence. Because if you're like focusing on ability, that could be athletics, training, working out, exercising, but that's going to kind of do twofold. One, it's going to give you confidence. It's going to give you a sense that like my body works for me, you know what I mean? I don't work for it. And like it's going to tend to make you look better too, you know what I mean? So it's like kind of like when you focus on performance, you get confidence, looks, health, all kind of in one package, you know what I mean? Well, talking normal exercise, health, obviously, you know, obviously some of us kind of take it beyond that, but you get what I mean, right?
Yeah. I'm not super worried about it. I'm not asking it because she's ever said anything about it. Because she just like her mom was there. She's a high level gymnast, whatever it's called. So like, dude, she's jacked and she's strong as fuck and she loves to train. And dude, she goes to the gym for 2 to 3 hours a day, like 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Like she trains harder than I do. And I have no, I mean, I would just assume like, don't be a piece of shit and just create a positive environment. And I'm
I was
sure
gonna say, I
fine.
think that just like also really working on always having an open and supportive relationship with her is really important. Even though my mom was still in the picture, I mean, she was a single working mom of 3. It's not like she was really paying attention a whole lot, and I don't give her any flack for that or anything. So it was
doing what she had to do.
Yeah, and I had clearly had a lot of emotional issues that I had to work through, and I took it out with food.
But like what you said, that made a lot of sense when you said what you could control.
It's all about it was all about control.
Yeah,
dude,
that made a lot of sense. I never thought about it that way.
I feel like parents keeping an open mind and like she's saying like is so fucking important, because like I had a lot of things growing up that my parents didn't have an open mind about, and they would, you know, the things would come up like getting my ears pierced or whatever, like just random stuff, and they would, or just decisions I would make, and they would look at me like I was a different person, like, and just be like questioning me and being like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this, like I can't believe you did that. And that led me to later in life now where like I have trouble communicating with them, and they were great parents, so like it's literally like these small things like of just them not it's not that I don't trust them because they were good parents and nothing bad ever happened, but because they like pass that judgment on me so often, when I have like emotional troubles or stuff, they don't even know about it because I'm not going to bring it up to them because they don't have an open mind for it. Like, and I know what I say is going to get shot down. You know what I mean? So I think being a good listener,
you're always a little boy. In their eyes, you're always the little boy.
Yeah.
Which you know, I can appreciate that, having, you know, a bunch of little ankle biters running around. I'll say this, and I know we're doing I think this is a very important topic. Honestly, I could do a whole conversation just around this, and especially around raising daughters, but boys too. It's important because so with kids, it's ingraining in them this concept of, you know, your body is not your only worth. Your productivity is not your only worth. Like, you have worth as a human, and that's incredibly important for them to understand that innately it's there. It's not you have to earn that worth. Like, it's there. And some people feel like if they don't do enough, they're not worth anything, right? And that's not okay. But
Grace
then also
on that a little bit last episode when she said if she doesn't want to have kids, but if you do, then that's fine. You wanting to have kids or not wanting to have kids should not be the most important decision a woman makes.
No,
it should just be a fucking thing.
Right, but I think it's also a thing if you're talking about, because like one of the things I talk about with my daughters is don't be quiet. Don't be like don't be weak. Stand your ground. And I'm not saying that to be assholes. I'm like, no, you are strong, you are powerful, you have a voice, and it's an important one. And the things you have to say are important. I think it's incredibly important for young ladies to hear that. And then on the flip side, for young men, it's you need to listen to those things because you may not necessarily agree, but you need to hear it.
Yeah.
Well, and so, I think to touch on that is, I mean, at least now, like what I experience now, a lot of men my age or older, not so much young, like around Stan's age, and like you guys who seem to be a little bit more enlightened, is that when you do stand your ground, you're automatically the bitch and you get slandered.
Yep.
Older guys definitely think that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and their Facebook profile is a selfie with sunglasses, and we get it. You're cool, it's fine.
So I love that you're teaching your daughters that, because I want them to know that who cares if they think that you're a bitch? Like you set those standards and you follow through with them, because that's what you have. Those are the values that you have for yourself.
And just so
my
people
case,
know,
my response to that is you may be the bitch, but more importantly, you're also a bane. Never forget that.
Dude, this guy's trying to hype up some shit already.
It never
the Bane train.
It never stops.
Yeah.
You can ask, like, if anybody's out with me, especially in Las Vegas too, because I get extra amped up there. The hype never fucking stops.
I love that. That is so awesome.
Just so everyone knows, also, if an older dude on social media or in person says you're a bitch, he's the same guy sliding into some chick's DMs with a picture of him and his wife as his profile picture.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the small total energy we don't need.
Yeah.
Small total energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I definitely emphasize my daughter that she can literally do anything a guy can do.
Bro, I feel like you're doing all. I feel like you're doing all the right things. Like you've been telling us like how amazing it is that she's like active and she's fit and strong and she can do whatever she wants. Like that, I feel like you're doing everything you should be doing. You know what I mean?
And I think I think what's really cool about that too is, she's active and healthy now, but when she's older, she's probably still going to get comments from men about like her body, saying that I've even had dudes, just random dudes I don't know, and guys that I do know, making comments about, like, even at work, men have said this to me that I work with, saying like, hopefully I don't get much bigger, or they liked me better when I was smaller, or just shit like that.
Okay, fucking that comment right there.
Yeah, it's like so aggressively ignorant to bring up your opinion on someone's fucking.
And it's like, why are you commenting on my body in a professional environment where we should be focusing on our work, and you should be less worried about how I look?
Yeah,
I've never. Obviously, I can't relate to that exact topic. It's like when people tell me, like, "Oh, I would never get that tattooed on me." Who fucking asked you?
Yeah.
Did I fucking come up to you and go, "Hey, look at my tattoo that you would never get"?
Well,
why are you fucking talking?
It's also just random, dude. Imagine if like someone fucking came up to you at work, Dalton, and were like, "Your fingernails are fucking disgusting. Get away from me." You know what I mean? You'd be like, "What?" Why are you bringing like? What are you fucking talking about,
dude? Like, if I see dudes do this on social media all the time, like, let's just say Grace posted a fucking selfie, and some dude was like, "Damn, I like what she said. I hope you don't get any much bigger, motherfucker. I hope you go away."
Yeah.
I
didn't. Yeah.
Who invited you here?
That's why you look like a man is one of my favorite accounts to follow, because I just see this and I'm like, my God, like. I always wonder if I'm like saying the right things, or like, have I enlightened myself enough? Because don't get me wrong, like I still feel very masculine. Like my wife and I have very, I would say, traditional husband-wife type of roles around the house. But I'm like, I also want to make sure and same thing with my wife. I never want her to be quiet. Little Nikki Badass needs to be heard. And so I'm like, I see this stuff. I'm like, my God, like what I'm assuming most of these guys are straight, maybe not, whatever, but what person looks at them and goes, oh yeah, that's the one I want to continue the human race with. And I was like, dude.
I've always, there's two kinds of people in this world I want to meet. I want to meet a fucking Karen so bad. Like, dude,
I've met many of those.
Dude, more than anything in my life do I want to meet one of these women. And secondly, those dudes that comment, you look like a man, I liked you better when you were smaller. Dude, I don't even know who you are. Like, I want to fucking punch you in the throat.
I've met both of those types of people.
Yeah.
My clients
don't know how to keep scrolling.
When
Anyone
you train,
who doesn't know how,
when you train like Gen Pop clients, like I do at the commercial gym, half of those people are the people you're describing. But then you have to be like, I don't express my opinions on politics, morals, anything like that during a training session, because I'm just there to get them in shape. But I hear what they say, and I just go, okay, let's do the next set. Like, but like, it's crazy hearing some shit that people say, and
in your head you're like, yikes.
I'm reacting to it in my head, but they don't know I'm reacting to it at all. But it's sometimes I'm like, holy fuck, man, like people will say like some racist shit in front of me, like about like they don't say it like outright, like, oh my God, but like you'll have like an old white lady on the leg extension, and like person of color or a Hispanic person or something gets a little too close, and they'll kind of be like, like act real weird or something, and you're just like, bro,
like grab their water bottle and like hold on to it or something.
Or they'll just make a comment that's not like I know what they're saying. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, Jesus.
He's so well spoken.
Yeah.
And how often
dumb shit like that.
This is my favorite thing that girls say. How often do you hear, I don't want to get too muscular?
Pretty often, but you know what I actually hear more now? You know what's weird is that's turning around, where I get that very rarely unless I get like an old lady.
I love when girls say that, or even dudes, because dude, you're only going to get as muscular as you want to get.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to wake up one day and look like Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
Jacked all of a sudden, like, oh my God, what happened to me?
That's a guy who I started dating, and that's when I first started like getting into the gym, and he was like, oh, well, I hope you don't get too big. And I was like,
deuces.
Peace out, or like, bye,
later, homie.
Yeah.
Later, homie.
Or like, it was like too muscular, something common.
Yeah. The classic. So it's surprising, man. A lot of the women, like, if anything, they come to get training to lift weights because they're like figuring out like, oh, this is how I get toned. They were already doing cardio on their own and it wasn't working, and now they're like, yeah, I want to learn how to like get a little bit of muscle and strength.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I noticed that as a trend. But the funny thing is now
I have to eat more than
dude, most guy clients I get,
the first calories.
The first thing guy clients will tell me now, most of them, is, yeah, I want to like look a little bit better or whatever, but they go, but I don't want to like put on a lot of size. And they're like, or they'll be like, I don't want to look like you. And I'm just like, well, dude, I'm like, bro, listen, you're not going to gain any accidental size that you don't want. Like, it takes a lot of work to put on muscle and a lot of food. So as long, like, I'm like, just don't eat that much if you don't want to get bigger. Like, you know, they think that they're going to like come in and start training with me and get fucking massive in a year. I'm like, dude, and it's just such like an insult. Like, I don't care, because I would rather look how I look, and I want to be bigger than I am now. But I'm like, it's fucking weird that you just told me, I don't want to look like you. I'm like, yeah, I get it, bro. Like, you want to be fucking skinny. Like, it's just so weird, dude.
Funny story in the same vein. So my daughter, also a gymnast, powerlifts with me, and Lily is just, you can be an asshole.
Yeah.
But she's learned a lot of really snarky comebacks from people. And this was like 8th grade, so last year, she had some kids say, "Oh, hey, like, you keep lifting weights, you're gonna look like a man." And Lily, without even missing a beat, goes, "Oh yeah, you lifted, you look like one too."
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
good
like,
one.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Yes, that is
a
brilliant.
proud dad moment, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, she told me, and I'm like, "Oh, honey, I love you so
That
much."
usually applies though. That for sure usually applies in that situation.
Oh yeah,
That's
100%.
good.
Dude,
100%.
dude, you always notice that like jack dudes like tell jack chicks they look badass. And like
Yeah.
the skinny little fucktard boys are always like, I liked you better when you were smaller.
Yeah. I
thought I had some kind of control over you.
I do think it's interesting
Yeah.
now though that like I feel like most guys are actively trying to stay smaller or get smaller. Like people will come in say overweight and they want to get thin, or they'll come in skinny fat and they just want to get thin but they don't want to put on size. I notice that with a lot of guys now, and I wonder why that is. Just weird. Like
it's
fine.
era
It's fine.
of the
but-
TikTok boys, bro.
I will say, yeah, you're not wrong. Think of like the fashion that most guys are like young guys are promoting right now. It's
Yep.
not designed for big dudes.
Right.
You look at
Super
skinny
tight
jeans, you look at
shirts,
very
skinny
very,
jeans,
like
yep.
tapered, jackets, like all like that stuff is designed for the very narrow silhouette, especially on a guy.
Yeah.
And so I would say that's part of it. Like people want to have that look. Well, you're not going to look like Quavo if you weigh 250 pounds.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's definitely
So-
harder to have like cool style when you're
I was gonna say that has been such a
Yeah,
battle
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, whatever, Grace. We see the pictures you post.
It takes me I have to really experiment and find out which like brands and stuff don't work and work
Sure.
for me, because you can't
Right.
fucking fit into shit. But
Grace,
so
you getting dressed up all bougie and shit.
when I was my senior superlative was best dressed. So
Really?
yes, it
Nice.
was.
Yeah.
I was
funny is-
I was most likely to be on TV.
I had like no friends in
then
high school. I
basically.
don't think I was a
You
superlative at
fucking
all.
did it.
Yeah, man. Guys, we got to get back into the questions. This is already our longest podcast.
I've got like 10 minutes because I got to go to the airport and pick up Lily and Nick.
We'll try to wrap
Thank
this up.
God, because I got to pee so fucking bad.
All right, we're gonna answer Grace's question. Favorite,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
favorite or most fun accessory for upper and lower body, Bane?
Favorite for lower is actually pulling from Laura's book, banded belt march.
Oh,
So
Okay.
if you're actually walking outside with the bands,
That's
in
your
belt.
favorite. You're gonna pick that as your favorite,
Yes, because Laura almost fucking killed me.
bro. I did those during the quarantine, and I got so sick of them because I was like, damn, I wish I had a belt squat when we were stuck at home working out.
And then upper is tape press. I love fucking tape press.
Dude, when I try to do a tape press,
Tape
and
presses are good.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm slowing this down, but when I try to do tape press, I get like shoulder impingement a lot, almost every time I go to come back up. I don't know why. I can't figure out like where to put my elbows so that it doesn't do it. It seems like it does it wherever.
I do about like a 45 degree. That seems to help.
That's what I
Oh,
do.
okay.
I do the
So
same
it's basically like this, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah. See, I was doing them a little more with my elbows flared. You know what actually helped a little bit is doing them. Have you seen him? He sometimes like leans over a GHD or like a preacher curl thing instead
Yes.
of
Yes.
on a bench. Doing them that
Yep.
way for
Yeah.
whatever reason frees up my shoulders a little more, where it feels better. But yeah, that's always been a weird movement for me. Like it feels a little. It's hard to focus on getting a good contraction and pump, like when I'm like, dude, my fucking shoulder's like crunching. You know what I mean?
can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Grace?
Yeah.
Upper is probably I actually really love a floor pin press against
Ooh,
bands.
nice.
Those are cool. Yeah.
I love those.
Nice.
And lower I do really like seated good mornings.
Yeah.
But
Those are
I
cool.
really do love like a GHR or an inverse curl.
Mm.
Because honestly, hamstrings are probably my strongest. body
Yeah,
part.
dude. Nice.
Mm.
Nice.
Dalton?
What about you guys?
Upper is a tie between heavy dumbbell rollbacks and fat bar J Impress. I love that. I love fat bar because it's the only one that doesn't hurt my elbows. I use the fat bar because it takes the tension away. And then for lower, it's either banded hamstring curls for like sets of 100 or more.
Because you just get to lie down.
Well, listen, Grace. Okay.
Wow,
I don't like being exposed. Or another one is like if you have a gym with the machine where it's a standing hamstring curl rather than a lying hamstring curl, dude, those light me fuck up. Yeah. Or
we have one of those.
Another good upper, I think, is just the traditional tricep rope extension. I mean, that it'll blow you up, man.
That's just hard to beat, man. You can do it so many different ways too.
It's almost like the barbell of accessory movement. You can do so many different things with it. You know what I mean? Like
accurate
overhead curls, fucking face pulls, chest pulls. I mean, you could do fucking rows with, like, dude, I love it.
How we doing on time,
What
man?
about you, Stan?
You okay? Dude, honest, if you have to run and we're like hung up on a question, you can just bail. We'll finish without you. Don't worry. For me, I like.
They still gotta get their bag. They got time.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm just gonna go off.
I'm 10 minutes from all here.
Oh okay. Shit. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What I've been enjoying a lot right now is chest supported rows for upper. Like I do them. I do them either in a machine, like a hammer strength machine or something, or one of those T-bar ones where it's like a T-bar thing, but you're chest supported, or I'll do them hanging over an incline bench with dumbbells. Kind of depends on the gym I'm at. But I've been liking those, and I've been going like more for like a 10 to 12 rep range, and like going heavy to the point where like I get basically almost a failure, and those have been awesome. I find it very hard to make my upper back sore. And recently I've been doing those and like getting a huge stretch, like just getting pulled around like the thing supporting you. And that's actually getting my back sore. So I've been liking that. And then for lower, I've been doing a lot of hack squats because I just got to this gym and in Billerica, I didn't have a hack squat. Now I have one. So I've been like doing that a lot, and it fucking destroys my legs every time.
I fucking hate hack squat.
As soon as you said upper back, I just thought of snatch grip deadlifts.
Those are sweet.
Those are good.
I like doing
dude, yes.
Snatch grip against quadded minis in a rack is fucking that's a fucking fun one.
Nope.
Yeah, that really lights up like the lower lat. It's sick.
Yeah. We got one more good question, and we'll just skip the rest of the bad ones. Who has been the most influential to you?
In powerlifting, I'm assuming
that's a big question.
I guess we'll go with powerlifting to make it simpler for everybody. What about you, Grace? I bet I can guess.
Who would you guess?
Seth or Laura?
I would say probably. I mean, all the girls that I train with are definitely influential, but I would probably say Cosette because she balances a very. She has her family and kids. She is incredibly passionate about her work as a behavior specialist with autistic kids. And she excels in the sport too. She excels in everything she does. And I remember one time I was told at work, like, because I told them, I was like, I want to be really great at both work and powerlifting. And they said, well, you may not be able to do that. And now I look at Cosette and I think, like, if she can do it, like, I can do it because I'm passionate about my job, but I'm also really, I don't know if I'm passionate about powerlifting, but it's a big part of my life. For sure.
She's such a good person. It's almost annoying.
Yes, she is a really good person. She and I have very similar mindsets about things, and like she and I just jive really well. And I'm grateful she's in my life.
every time you talk about her, I'm like, how do I keep liking someone more?
So yeah,
What
that's
about
my
you?
answer.
What about you, Big Bad Bane Train?
All right. I have a list of like, especially men who've like poured into my life, but I've especially powerlifting related. Probably the most influential has been Steve Brock. And if anybody watches
I've
this, or if you
wanted
guys
to
don't
have a
know,
conversation with him so bad.
here's what I will tell you: set aside one, have questions ready, but set aside about 2 hours because Steve can talk. Steve is the kind of person that can look at things from almost like a 4-dimensional viewpoint, where he sees the good, the bad, the ugly. He sees the connection. Something as simple as like watching 2 dogs fight over a rope, and one happens to be a much older dog, and just like that pattern of, you know, the older, more seasoned lifter getting ready to pass things on to the younger one who's super excited to get it, but there's still those old tricks up the sleeve of the seasoned lifter where they're always going to have something for that younger lifter. And so Steve has been unbelievably influential for me as a lifter, as a husband, as a man, as a father. I would say he's probably one of the top 5 human beings I've ever met in my life. And I say this with, you know, no apologies. Steve has changed the direction of my life because of the conversations we have, the energy, the effort, the things he's poured into me. And so I words will never do it justice. But I highly recommend if anybody doesn't know him, follow him, find him. It's very rare he's on social media, but oh my gosh, if you're ever in his presence, like he's the type of guy that once he walks in a room, you know. You don't see him, but you know he's in the room.
Yeah. That's so sick, man. What about you, Stanley? What about you, Stanley? Stanley. There he
now
is.
Stan has the bad internet.
I had to think about it a little bit. I was frozen in thought. I think I was here, but
we'll go with that.
I haven't had tons of people that have like made huge impacts like on my lifting, but the first person I can think of is like my buddy Liam's dad. When I was a kid and we first started going to like this hardcore gym down the street, he just kind of like, he definitely taught us, like he basically showed us what powerlifting was and like helped us prep for our first meet and shit like that. But he like, he had done I believe an 800 something single ply squat, benched over 500 back when like the single ply shirts were, you know, just like shit. And his deadlift sucked. I think he only deadlifted like 650 or something, but he did that at like 165, like crazy. So he was actually like a good lifter. So we were like, we're gonna fucking listen to this dude. And he was still squatting like 600 raw in fucking work boots and like camo cargo shorts when we were like 16. He was like almost 50 like doing that, and he was still benching 4 plates for reps and shit. But he like taught us like intensity in the gym, and he also taught us that like he would always hype us up. Like if we benched like 275 for the first time, he'd be like, "Oh, in 3 weeks you're gonna bench 315," which was like not true. But he always said shit with such certainty, like he had confidence in us, and like nothing was crazy. Like he'd be like, "Yeah, you can do that, man. Like you're gonna do that." So he was just like the fucking hype man at the gym, but also like the scariest dude.
They're
like
important.
Dude, he's just like this little fucking like guy that will like, he'd always like be getting into fights at bars and shit, and like he just like had like that crazy person look. But this dude is like 5'6" probably, and I would never want to fuck with him. Like he's just that type of dude. Like, because he would like try to fight people at the gym that were like 6'3" and like 250 pounds. Like he just didn't give a fuck. But he was sick. He was definitely like, for us to get into lifting and be able to train with a guy like that as like fucking snot-nosed kids that didn't know anything, like that shit was definitely a sick introduction to lifting weights for me. And we still talk to him even though like we don't lift around him anymore, and he's kind of got some health problems now. But like my last time I did when I took that 905 squat, I called him up and I was like, "Billy, like I'm taking a heavy squat Friday. It'd be really sick if you came and watched and just hung out." And he was like, "Oh, Stan, I'll be there." And he like came down and was like fucking yelling in my face like old times and shit. Like it was really fucking rad. So we still hang around with him. And I have some funny stories of going to meets and shit with him. But I would say him for sure.
Hey guys, I gotta jump. I gotta go pick up my wife and daughter. It was awesome, guys. Thank you so much, Stan. Appreciate you asking me. Dalton, great. We're gonna get together in person one of these days, dude.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
And Grace, you're amazing. I love you. You're dope. So, see you guys soon.
Thanks for being such a great dad. It's good to talk to you.
I just try to
peace out, Girl Scout.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
I think we're almost done anyway. Did you guys both answer this one already? Most influential?
Dalton hasn't yet.
Oh, Dalton, we'll let you go and then we'll wrap it up. I gotta pee.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
No pressure.
I don't know about y'all, but I have like multiple people who influenced me throughout like the years. Like,
like
it just depends on
and stuff.
Same.
Yeah, it just depends on like where you're at in your life. You know?
Yeah.
As of lately, this is gonna sound super gay and super cheesy, but Stan.
Aww.
Because no.
Wow.
Because
I love that.
So like I've never taken my health seriously as far as gear. I've never taken my health seriously as far as diet. I've never taken my health seriously as far as training.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the past 6 to 8 months, I was told by a doctor at 27 that I needed high blood pressure medicine, and that's when it was like,
fuck
this.
Yeah. Flip the switch.
I'm done. This is bullshit. And then Stan just like, without missing a beat, here's a diet template. Here's what you need to do. Here's the kind of food you should eat, when to eat it, how much to eat, like just boom, 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 boom. And I don't know shit about nutrition or didn't. And now like, I mean, Stan and I talk every fucking day, you know, and any question I have, he's got a fucking 20-minute answer for it. So he's definitely influenced me beyond belief to get healthier and be happier with my health for sure.
Fuck yeah, man.
I fucking love you. I love you, buddy. I love you.
When I said last time about how you were talking about your friends and just like friendships and relationships and stuff, and I said, you know, when windows close and other opportunities open and shit.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
My wife just came in and was like, "Are you almost done?"
We're almost done. Sorry, Katie.
Everyone has to pee, so we're almost done.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Dalton, I feel like you and me are like fucking way more similar than we thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like we're like best friends. I'm actually wearing your fucking shirt right now that you left at my house. I don't know if you noticed that.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's only
That's
it's only a little bit big.
Oh, that's funny.
Fuck yeah, man. Sick.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, dudes, this is a fucking blast. Grace, you're just a fucking third host by now.
Yeah, I know, for real. For real.
Anytime.
Sick.
I'll see y'all later, boys.
All right, yeah, let's hop off this thing. I gotta go to the bathroom. See you guys.